So I won't waste any time. Let's get straight into it. Obviously, happy Christmas to everyone who's going to celebrate Christmas and enjoy Christmas and the New Year. But I'm not going to waste any time and beat around the bush. Let's get straight into the problem that all of you are having. And for those of you that are ready to be more honest and accountable and solve your problem. In this case, it's taking action, facing your fears. And obviously, there's a lot that goes into that because in order to do that, there's a lot of emotions that you've got to face, and there's a lot of accountability, and there's a lot of honesty. So, the real truth is most people are not invested in you facing your fears. They don't want you to face your fears. Most people, unless they're good people and they got your best interest at heart. And that's very rare when it comes in this situation. Of course, people can be lovely. There's lots of nice people in the world, not lots of not so nice. But this is an area that's very triggering for a lot of people. So this is why most people will surround themselves with people that don't take action, that are not accountable, that are not challenging themselves, that are not being truthful enough in their life because it lets them off the hook. But it's not about blaming anybody else. It's also about realizing that you're one of those people. The majority of you are invested in not facing fears and taking action. And one of the signs to show that, one of the many signs, the signs that I see is lies. Lots of you on here under my videos, on the live streams. This goes for many people. Will lie that they're taking action. You'll convince yourself you are, and that's one of the ways that fear shows up. If you can convince yourself that you're telling the truth when in reality you're lying, and you're saying, I'm being accountable, I'm taking action on my social anxiety, I'm showing up, I'm going to the gym, I'm bettering myself, I'm working on being a better person. But talk is cheap, because when you're really doing it and you're living it, there's not that big explanation. There's not so much philosophizing. Some of you, it's okay, but it's not okay in a way. Underneath my videos, I will teach a subject that I am an expert in and that I've lived and succeeded myself and helped others. But people will come back with their response, and their response will be, it won't be truthful. It will be something maybe that they read in a book that was truthful, but it's not from them. It's not from what they're doing. And it'll be like, yeah, you should do this, you can do that. It's all part of rationalization. It's all part of intellectualizing, but that's not taking action. That's not being accountable. You can't gain confidence. You can't be someone that you can't be someone that you believe in if you're not actually physically living it and doing it. You can't be that person. You can't be that strong person. You can't be someone that you're going to look up to. You're not going to believe in yourself because you got nothing to base your belief on, because you're not being accountable. So this is a conversation I have with a lot of clients to get them from where they are, which is where they don't want to be, and to get them to where they want to be. A conversation I've had with myself many times. So questions is things like, it shows up, people say things like, they'll ask me like, how many times do you go gym? And I understand, we've all asked that question. But for me, the answer to that question is, I don't do days. I don't do it like that. I live it. I do it. I love it. I'm committed to it. I'm accountable. I don't lie to myself about I'm going to go this day, that day. I've gone beyond that. So when you're really living it and taking action, there's not really that much to say. You haven't got time to quote facts from books. You haven't got time to argue with people underneath YouTube videos. You really are that guy. You really are that person. And that's a wonderful feeling. But you can only get to that by facing things that are difficult in your life, regularly facing your fears, doing what you say you're gonna do, being truthful, not breaking promises to yourself and to others. So it takes a lot of strength, and it's something that you've got to put a lot of work into, and you build it over time. But a lot of people are not doing it. Most of you are waiting. You're waiting to feel good, and that's not accountability. Accountability is not about wait until you feel good to do things. Accountability is about doing what needs to be done, regardless of how you feel. Because we all have bad days. We all have days where we don't feel good. If we went by that, the whole world wouldn't do anything. But obviously, to have good character, it's showing up when you don't always feel like it. There's a lot of times I don't particularly feel like doing these live streams because there's other things I could do that are easier or more enjoyable or more valuable. But I show up and I do them because I know the damaging effect it has on my character, on my confidence and self-esteem, and my ability to impact people more and change their lives if I don't show up because I don't feel like it, or because it's cold, or all the excuses that people make. So excuse making is always what people do when they're not taking action. When you take action, you have no excuses. You have no excuses because in facing the fears, excuses don't exist in your life, in your reality, and you enjoy the challenge. You don't begrudge it. When you resent it and you begrudge it, and you blame other people, and you don't take responsibility, and you want to get into this whole debating facts and what. See, that's the thing as well. That's why I say taking action is not the same as reading books. Reading books is easy. Anyone can do this, right? This is a pad of paper, but just to show you, give you an example. Anybody can do that and get a pad, a book like that, right? Open it and read the words. Okay, refill pad. This doesn't take any courage. It doesn't really take any real accountability. You're not facing anything. It's not challenging. It's not difficult. Anyone can do it. You can do it on the toilet. You can do it at home. It's convenient. But to put the book down and go, right, I'm going out. I'm going to go out and I'm going to show up and I'm going to go on a first date, or I'm going to go and look for a job, or, I'm going to go and travel, or I'm going to go and help someone, or I'm going to go and do a public talk, or I'm going to do a YouTube presentation, or I'm going to go to the gym. That takes character. That takes something, that takes strength within. And if you're not exercising that on a regular basis, then you're always going to be someone that doesn't like themselves. You're not going to get anywhere in life. You're just not. And your defense mechanism is going to be how many books you read, how much facts that you can memorize. But memorizing facts is not taking action. That's not being an accountable person. It just doesn't cut it. It's not the right approach for the situation we're talking about today, which is getting over anxiety, fear, and building confidence and improving your psychology and physically improving. So it's like somebody sitting down and saying, yeah, I understand diets. Yeah, I know how to get a six-pack. Yeah, I know how to hit the punch bag. But they're not doing any of it. So none of it. So that's all lies then. That's not truthful. Truthfulness is, for most part in this domain, is saying what you're doing. When you say what you do, you don't have to say it too much because you're doing it and people can see that. Physically, they can see it. So I don't have to sit here and go, yeah, I go gym. Yeah, I work hard. I train hard. Yeah, because the videos are online. Everybody can see me doing it. And obviously that's not all of what I do, but that shows you enough to see me doing it, hitting a bag for 20 minutes, all out, training. So really, it doesn't come down to what you say you do. It comes down to what you actually do. And the majority of you don't do enough. Some of you don't do anything at all. You don't face any of your fears. You stay in your comfort zone. Some of you are doing some of it, and that's something to appreciate, but it's still not enough. And those of you that are doing it, brilliant. I'm happy for you. That's why I spend all this time teaching, putting the videos out. So you don't really have to watch the videos anymore. Or it's different watching a video if you just want to catch up with me and just to catch up on things, a bit of healthy entertainment. That's okay if you've been really taking a lot of action. But it's so rampant today. But it's a challenge that I like. I like this challenge of explaining this to people and getting them to see and feel sense, and getting them to realize that you're not being honest in your life. And it's quite amazing the lies that people will tell themselves and the lies they'll tell other people as any way they can to get out of doing it, to let themselves off the hook. But later on, that always bites you in the bum, because when you keep letting yourself off of the hook, you've got to pay the price for that. And the price for that is, not feeling good about yourself, and then getting down, and then not enjoying your life. And you're letting yourself down. you're not being accountable, you're not challenging yourself. So if you don't want to be like that, and you don't want to be that person, take my advice and set goals, set short-term goals, long-term goals, and start today and push past that resistance. Do it now. Life isn't all of a sudden going to become amazing for you by doing nothing. It's going to get worse, actually. You've got to act now based on however you feel. However you feel. If you don't feel good, that's even more of a time to do it. Now, obviously, putting things into perspective for those people, if anybody's going through like really bad mental health problems, then they need to go and get professional help ASAP. I would exclude someone who is really going through a mental health problem with this conversation. But for those of you that are not going through a mental health problem, and it's just, normal anxiety and fear that any human being would have, then you got to start being more real with yourself and more truthful. And I think that's where it really starts. It starts off with the honesty. Until you can be really honest with yourself about where you're at, the fact that you're not happy, the fact that you're not being accountable, the fact that you are putting things off, that you are afraid to face what needs to be faced, that's when you start building your confidence up. But if you're not truthful and you continue to tell the lies, because it doesn't affect me, it affects you. So I know from my experience, when you've been teaching for over a decade and you've worked through your own fears and you've seen the excuses, when people write comments or they have conversations with me, I can tell immediately within what they're saying and the way they say it, whether they're lying or not, or exaggerating, as opposed to someone who is actually doing it and living it. So it really is about making the commitment. And I wrote some of these things down here earlier. I did a session with a client. I won't say it, but these are some things that I noted what you need to get over social anxiety, fear. You need commitment. And this is something I'd say all of you lack. You need momentum, and you lack that. You need planning. There's a certain amount of planning that you do, and that goes in with goal setting. And you need to track your progress as well. You need that accountability so you can see what you're doing well, the amount you're doing, and then you can also be aware of more that that what you're not doing or what you could be doing more of. But it's funny, all of these things, commitment, momentum, not taking long breaks from socializing, being self-motivated, facing your fears, planning, scheduling. These are things that happen. They all happen naturally as a consequence when you take massive action, when you show up. So you can't just face your fear once and then say you're doing it. That's not doing it. That's like saying, that's like going gym once a year and saying that I go gym. It's like, well, no, you don't. Because for 364 days of the year, you don't go gym. You only go gym once. It's not enough. That effort will get you nowhere in life. Same with socializing. You can't just go and have coffee with a group of people once a year and then say you're socializing. You're actually antisocial. You're socializing once a year. That's not enough. That is not enough to build a habit. It's not enough to build character. It's not enough. You need way more than that. You need to be doing a hell of a lot more than that. And most of you, and most people today, not even on this channel, don't work hard at all, not scared to work hard. Because in order to work hard, you've got to break down those barriers, your fears, your insecurities, your mental blocks, your emotional blocks. And you've got to be consistent. You've got to do it when you don't feel like it. And when you do it when you don't feel like it, guess what happens over time? You do feel like doing it. Or you might have a short period where for 1 hour you feel anxious and sick and nervous and nauseous and you don't want to take action. You push yourself over that line, you get into the situation, and then about half an hour later, your mood changes. You feel great, you feel inspired, you feel motivated, you feel empowered, and then your state of mind changes and your state of mood, and then you continue on. So it's a continuous process. And obviously motivation comes and goes, which is why you have to work at getting it back again. So today you're motivated, which is great. You take action. You wake up tomorrow, you're not motivated. You've got to get your mind right again. You've got to push yourself. You've got to speak to yourself in a positive way. And then you've got to get back out again. And this is the process that most people are putting off. And of course, another thing where a lot of people fail. They don't invest in a mentor. They don't make the financial investment. They don't make that emotional investment. Psychological, it's financial, it's mental, emotional. They're too tight. They're too scared to spend money, too scared to show up. And because of that fear of being afraid to invest, you actually get nothing back in return in life. But those that do invest financially, mentally, emotionally, with their character, with commitment, with accountability, they get 10x back, a tenfold. You make more money, you make more friends, you gain more confidence, opportunities open up to you, everything goes better in your life. Why? Because you've invested in yourself and you get the return on that investment, and you've shown up. So a lot of you won't do that. And I know it because I've been through this myself and overcome it. It's a fear of losing. I'm scared to lose money. I'm scared of not being liked. I'm scared to lose approval. I'm scared to make a mistake. I'm afraid of failure. Well, unfortunately, if you don't go through these things, you're never going to be a success in your life. This is reality. Well, the thing is, what you got to realize is you got to stop feeling sorry for yourself, because that doesn't get you nowhere. That's part of a weak character. Now, there's a difference. I say to clients, it's not about hating yourself. It's not about putting yourself down, because that ain't going to help you, and that's not good for your mental health. But it is also about having that balance where you stop feeling sorry for yourself. Because if you feel sorry for yourself because you had a bad mood, that's down to you. You're in control of your own mood. That's nobody else's responsibility. That's your responsibility and mine. I don't let a bad mood get in my way with being successful, because the more accountable you are, the better your mood is. So we all have difficult days, but it's about coming back from them. Good character is not letting a bad day wear you down. Say, okay, I had a bad day today. We can acknowledge it. So it was a bad day. I didn't feel good. Things happen, but I'm not going to let it spoil my day. That's great character. But most of you don't have that. You could have it, but you don't. You're not doing the things that would make you have that. So good character is not just about what you say. It's what you do. It's how you act. Because anybody can sit here and go and say their character's good. But if I spent a week with most of you, I'd probably see that your character's not good, that you wouldn't be able to show up on time, that you would break promises, that you would tell lies, that you would say you're going to do things, and when it comes to it, you wouldn't do it. But I can wholeheartedly sit here and say, you wouldn't get that with me, because I've got a good character, and I work on it every day. So if a low mood is stopping you at the moment, it's your responsibility. Either your responsibility to get help for those people that need support. Getting help and support is actually a strength. I've wrote this down here. These are all the things you need to overcome social anxiety, fear, challenges. You need commitment. You need momentum. You need to keep yourself motivated to see your progress. You need some emotional support if you need that, and everybody needs that. So that could come in the form of a mentor, taking a program, good friends, an accountability group, someone you can talk to, someone who's a good person who you can have that conversation with. And you need planning, scheduling. These are just common sense. These are things that are just kind of obvious. But to get to these things, you gotta face your fears. And see, this is what people don't understand. Facing your fear is not just about facing fear. Facing your fear is dealing with all these things, dealing with rejection, dealing with addiction, dealing with low moods. And if you've got that character where you always complaining is complaining all the time is a sign of bad character. It is something that will only make things worse for you, rather than saying, instead of complaining about my situation, about how unhappy I am and how things are not fair, why don't I stop complaining and put that energy into finding a solution to solve my problem and being excited about it and motivated, using my time wisely, using it in a positive, focused manner. That'll make all the difference. It really will. And it's little things like, training yourself to go, you know what? I'm not gonna keep getting in these low moods. I'm not gonna let a low mood dictate my whole life. You've got to be stronger than that. You have to be for yourself. Otherwise, you'll stay where you are or even slide back down. Listen, if a girl turns you down, it's not nice. You've got to get over it. You've got to get over it. If you don't get over it, then you're going to be moaning and miserable and complaining your whole life. So it happens to everybody. It happens to Johnny, but it happens to all. We get turned down. It doesn't work out. You got to move on. You got to accept it. Appreciate it. Appreciate what it's given you. Learn from it, move on, and then you won't get turned down. You meet someone. But if you can't deal with disappointment and failure in life, you're never going to get to that place that you want to be. And you're not going to be a person that you aspire to be. You're going to be someone who is resentful to themselves and to their life. So, discipline is important. Funny enough, this is one of the tricks of fear. People always think, oh, I'm intimidated. It's too much and I'm not going to be able to do it. And I doubt myself and it's going to be hard. And how long is it going to take? And that's just a weak character. It's a loser's attitude, because that conversation, wrong conversation. You can't do it on that software. It's got to be, this is going to be really challenging. This is going to be probably the hardest thing I've ever done. This is going to take some time. This is going to be really difficult. I'm having doubt. I doubt if I can do this. That's okay. But you know what? I'm going to take the challenge on. I'm going to try it. Let's have a go at it. Let's try it. Let's at least not be a coward and just say, well, I'm not going to do something because if I do it, I might fail. Why not say, you know what? I'm all in. I'm 100% committed to changing my life and succeed and conquering my fears. And you say it with conviction. You don't tell lies. You don't say it to lie to people to get brownie points. You commit with your heart and your soul, and you've already done half of it already by committing, because now you're definitely going to do it. And it's self-motivation is important. Like, I can only motivate you so much, a teacher, a mentor. It's learning to do it yourself. And it's a muscle that you got to build in the same way that people moan every day. They're very good at doing that, moaning and complaining. They build that habit. They become masters at moaning. But they won't do it in the other direction. They won't be someone who doesn't moan and who's grateful every day and can look for the positives and find ways of enjoying life. Just keep doing what you're doing. If you've got haters at work who hate on you because you provide a really good customer service, keep providing that good customer service. It will get to them more. Don't let them stop you. Don't become like them. Don't be a hateful person. That doesn't mean you have to be a doormat. You can stand up to people and say, hey, don't treat me like that. Keep doing what you're doing, my friend. If you're doing that and you're being honest about that and you're not telling me lies or yourself, and I'll take your word on it, I hope it's true, keep doing what you're doing. And that's the strength of character. Strength of character is not letting haters stop you from what you're doing or put fear into you or doubt into you or bring you down. Keep doing what you're doing. Do it 10 times better. And I'm sure you'll be rewarded just by doing that. So you can use the hate in a positive way. The hate that they're putting, don't be hateful like they are. Keep being a good person. Keep giving that good customer service, and you're just going to keep growing and elevating. Eventually, they'll get tired of hating on you. They'll run out of energy, and they'll go take that energy somewhere else. Well, speaking of energy, I need a protein bar. Another tip for you guys. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. If you can feel it, that's good, because you have awareness. We all aware of that. It's part of living in this world today. It's a challenge for everyone. But the way to combat negative energy is with positive energy. So it's challenging. It's more challenging for all of us. I feel it from time to time in places. Don't let it get me down. Connect with positive people to counteract the negativity. I have no comments about other people. I don't get involved in little gossiping. So maybe you want to go somewhere else if you want to gossip about people or ask about people. I'm not here to talk about other people. I'm here to do my job, what I love. I'm here to teach people how to overcome their fears, take action, and be motivated. That's what I'm here to do. Appreciate that. Appreciate your support from 217. Thank you, man. Really appreciate it. How you doing, Corey? Yeah, that's true. Very important. I'm going to say next thing. It's simple, but it's a chain. Stop talking yourself out of taking action. I'm going to say that again for all of you. Stop talking yourself out of taking action. Stop talking yourself out of being accountable. I'm genuinely giving you this from my heart. I use this every day. It's changed my life. Stop. You're going to have to get over it, Ethan. You're going to have to get over it. I understand you're human. Listen, get over it. Keep going. Go to the gym. Work on your mental health. Improve your diet. Be grateful for everything you've got in your life. And just keep going and improving yourself. And be more honest in your life. And then you'll get success. Okay. Back again. I'm not joining jiu-jitsu, mate. Jiu-jitsu is wonderful. I'm doing boxing at the moment. I love that. So I've made a commitment to that. But yeah, you should do jiu-jitsu unless you're doing it already. So, like I said earlier, yeah. See, when you've had success in the past, that's wonderful. That's great because it's nice to have been successful. But you have to break out of resisting what you need to do today because you're thinking about what you've done. Because we could all live in the past. I could say, well, I was really successful 7 years ago, which I was. But we're here now. It's a different chapter. Now I'm becoming more successful today in the future. So that's another, this is another advanced thing about getting over your fear. Sometimes you got to get over your fear again. So people will say in 1999, I got over all my fears, which is great. But in 2021, you're stuck in the grip of all your fears. So it's about what are you going to do today? Are you going to take some confidence maybe from the past, but you're not going to hold on to it because it's gone now. It can't, it's a different time. So motivation is a huge factor in that. You see many successful people be successful and then, they have a breakdown like what happened to me, or they have challenges, or they get depressed, or they get overweight, or they have a change in relationship and it affects them because obviously we're human. And then they've got to find another motivation. They've got to find a way of motivating themselves back. An example that comes off the top of my head is Tyson Fury, who was the heavyweight champion of the world. Then he got depressed. He had mental health problems. He stopped fighting for about 2.5, 3 years. He got out of shape. He was suicidal. He wanted to take his own life. and he had to come back from that again. And he came back from that. He got his mind right. He trained. He became accountable. He became more honest. He became a much better human being, and he regained the heavyweight championship. So that's an example. Back to answering Ethan's question, or anybody else who might be going through that challenge. Right. What's the next thing? Oh, yes. Before I forget, I did send out a newsletter just to let you guys know. I always do a Christmas offer every year. Well, the years that I've been teaching, I always enjoy doing it. So I'm doing a Christmas special offer on my 6-week transformation program. If any of you are interested, you're going to save £500. The offer, you're welcome, Ethan. The offer is open from today to the 24th. It will expire Christmas Day. So you got 21, 22, you got 21, 22, 23. You got 4 days. If you're interested, email me. Here's my email address. You're gonna get 25% off the original price. So here's my email. If you're committed and you want to get coaching, you want to overcome your fears, your social anxiety, I can do the program online. If you'd like to do it with me online and have the accountability, the mentorship, we could do that online. If you'd like to do it in person, I can do it in person as well. So email me if you're interested in getting 25% off to 60. Now, if you don't take this offer now and you want to work me in the future, you're going to have to pay the full amount. You're not going to get a discount. The discount is a short window. I did put it out 2 days ago, so I'm just letting all of you know in case you didn't know. I made a point of reminding myself to do that on this live stream today. So today, tomorrow, and the next day, if you're really serious about getting my help, making that investment. Now, for those of you that are not in a position to make the investment financially, then that's fine, because you can watch the free videos, you can get the live streams. But at some point, whether you do it with me on your own, you're going to have to face that fear, and you're going to have to face it not once, not twice, not 3 times, for the rest of your life, pretty much. And that's how you're going to change it, or by at least being more consistent. Also, I'd like to just say thanks and give some gratitude to the guys that came down to the 2 Phyllis events. I absolutely loved it. I enjoyed the second one even better, actually. I had a friend come over from Orlando, from America. He joined, and the guys who came were great. They were respectful, they were nice, they were honest, they were brave, and we really made some progress. And I'm going to be doing regular Phyllis events, and I'm going to be doing regular paid weekend confidence programs. I'll tell you more about that on the coming weeks and things like that. But obviously, guys, like I said, it's that time of the year. It's nice to spend time with the family, spend Christmas and have some time with family, which is probably the most important thing. Have a nice time, food, enjoy the Christmas and the New Year. But for me, as soon as that's over, I've got my goals and going to continue out with teaching and building this business and platform and helping as many good people as I can. And I'd encourage you guys to make sure you set your goals now. Don't leave it till January, because then you won't do it. You just keep putting it off. Anyway, that's enough from me. I enjoyed it. Thank you for all the support throughout. Thanks to all of you. Hope you're doing good, Benny. And I'll speak to you after the Christmas period. I guess I might upload a few more videos, but this probably be the last. Well, it's not the last time that you'll see me until after the Christmas period on a live stream. But yeah, I appreciate the support, and I hope those videos that I've been making, well, I'm confident are getting more of you to face your fears and go gym and train and get yourself in shape and improve your self-esteem. All right. Speak to you guys soon, and drop me an email if you're interested in the coaching at the Christmas discounted offer. All right. It's a pleasure. Have a good evening, Fearless.